5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All systems go with Josh Appelbaum starts now.
Hello and welcome to episode 438 of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast, powered by Rhythm. I am your host, Josh Appelbaum. What's going on, everyone? Happy Thirsty Thursday. Our work week is coming to an end, but we got a lot to get to on today's podcast. We're going to talk college basketball as we are in the thick of it. With college football now over with, and obviously a big transition here to focus exclusively on college basketball. So I do have a 3-pack of sweats for you, all very, very short favorites here. So we got 3 money line short favorites with some really interesting sharp mush edges. So if you don't remember the sharp mush edge, it comes from one of my favorite apps, Juice Reel, and what it does is it compiles all the people who have downloaded the Juice Reel app and synced up their books to Juice Reel, and then it tracks, okay, who are the winning bettors? It's all ranked and rated, and if all of the, or majority of the winning bettors are on one side, and the majority of the losing bettors are on the other, it's going to highlight the games and the sides where the majority of winning bettors are leaning in one direction. So all 3 of these money line favorites tonight in college hoops have some really good sharp mush edges. So looking forward to breaking down 3 games here tonight in college hoops. And then I got another NFL play for you. I was kind of waiting to see if we could get this number. We can get it, but I don't think it's going to come naturally in terms of, all of the entire market moving in this direction. So I think there's an opportunity to play it right now before this price gets worse. So I do have one bet for the NFC championship game, Rams and Seattle. And then again, hope you guys listened to yesterday's pod because we jumped on Denver Broncos plus 5.5. I woke up today, guys. I'm looking at my live odds page, my Odds Logic live odds page. If you want to try out Odds Logic, it's oddslogic.com/Josh123. 7-day free trial, 50% off your first month of service. But here's the thing. We got the 5.5 with Denver. Have you guys seen where the line is today? There's no more 5.5s. There's no more 5s. It's all 4.5 across the board. So automatically, I'm feeling good about this because we beat the closing line. So again, hopefully it pays to get these bets in early, and that's the whole reason why, we're talking about a best bet on a Wednesday for a Sunday game. Big point of emphasis here is trying to get the best price, trying to get that CLV. So if you're holding Denver plus 5.5, you put it in after yesterday's pod, or you saw the best bet on the Juice Reel app, good sign here that the Broncos are down to 4.5, even though nearly 80% of bets are going Patriots. So talk NFL, talk college basketball. I do want to remind everyone that tonight is a Thursday night. So we have our Rhythm Rundown. Looking forward to, once again, co-hosting with my buddy, Cade Harper. So Cade and I are going to go over at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, stream live on Twitter. You can always follow me at Josh_insights, but we will be talking about AFC Championship game, NFC Championship game, rhythm system matches, prop bets. We might even talk about some other sports here as we're going to try to gravitate toward maybe some more hoops. Now, looking back toward last night, guys, nice little bounce back. After an 0-3, when I still couldn't get over the refs screwing us in Colorado, a 2-1, plus 0.78 unit night. Got North Carolina. Remember, they were steamed up minus 11.5 up to 12.5. Even got up to 13.5. Some shops even touched 14. That's always notable to me, guys, when you see line movement that isn't super public. Remember, that was low bets, higher dollars in favor of UNC. Only like 60% bets, but 80% money. But big movement with no buyback whatsoever. That usually tells you that even though the line's getting worse, there's a reason. Odds makers are taking in smart money on that number. The favorite line keeps going up. Or it could go the other way, the dog. Like, let's say a dog goes from 7.5 down to 7, 6.5, down to 6, down to 5. Like, anytime you see that one-way movement, usually that's a good sign that big money continues to take that position. And UNC won by 22. So nice cover there with the Tar Heels. And then Grand Canyon. What a sweat that was. They were down a little bit early, and then they absolutely played incredible and got up by like 15 points, and then they slowly gave it away. And believe it or not, San Diego State mounted a huge comeback, and they're actually up by a point very late, like a minute left. But thank the Lord, there was a foul called. Finally, the refs went our way with one of them, and Grand Canyon hit 2 clutch free throws to win by 1 point. Now, why is that important? Because if you're like me and you got the plus 1.5, beautiful. Chef's kiss. You cover with the dog and the points winning outright. But why do we always mention this? Because there were some shops that were pick 'em or -1 or even -1.5 Grand Canyon at one point. Again, you lay a 1, you push, you lay a 1.5, you lose. So once again, the importance of money lining short favorites. If you couldn't get the 1.5, hopefully you money lined and got that win there with Grand Canyon. Epic sweat. Only loser was Kentucky, and that was, again, another game that I think we diagnosed perfectly. Got -6.5. Did you guys see where the Wildcats closed? -7.5. So beat the closing line. Unfortunately, Kentucky only won by 5. So we needed one more basket. Couldn't get it. But either way, we'll take a 2-1 plus 0.78 unit night. We'll reinvest it, and we'll hopefully get some winners here for tonight. So before we update the AFC-NFC Championship game, one bet already in pocket with Denver 5.5 down to 4.5. Then we'll talk Rams and Seattle. I did want to start off with college hoops. College hoops this time of year, it reminds me a little bit of baseball. Not that it's just like, a super long season, but just you wake up every day and there's 20, 30 games to choose from, 40 games. Saturdays you get over 100 games. So hopefully we can, kind of hit our stride here as we get closer to conference tournaments and March Madness. But anyway, guys, I got 3 plays for you. Let's see if we can get 2 out of 3, eke out a winning night and get a little hot streak going here. So first one on the board for me, let's talk a 7 o'clock game, Southern Miss visiting Georgia State. Set the stage, talk splits, line movement, system matches, sharp mush rhythm. I'll give you my play for this one. So Southern Miss comes in 11-9. However, they have dropped 2 straight and just lost to Texas State 74-67. Did not cover as a 2-point road dog. On the other hand, Georgia State 7-12, worst record, but they've won 2 in a row. Just beat UL Monroe 77-57, easily covered as a 6.5-point road favorite. So what have we seen across the market here? Well, this game opened at mostly roughly a pick'em. You had some shops opening Georgia State -1. I saw a couple shops open Southern Miss -1. So again, split the difference. It was basically a pick'em game. And it's very clear that sharps have sided with Georgia State because Georgia State went from a pick'em now up to -1.5. Some shops even -2. Some shops even touched 2.5 earlier today. So basically all movement and liability has been in favor of Georgia State. Now, you guys know me, especially with what happened with Grand Canyon last night, money lining a short favorite. So I did play Georgia State on the money line. I got Georgia State on the money line at -125. That should be pretty much still available. I do see Caesars at -125. The score as well, but some books are as high as -130, -140. So definitely shop around for the best price, but 125 should be available here. In addition to this line move toward Georgia State, we have a really good bet split on Georgia State. 56% of money line bets, but 83% of money line dollars at DraftKings. So a really good low bets, higher dollar split in favor of Georgia State, who, what are they? The Panthers. Now, Georgia State also matches a system play for me, money line a short favorite in which the line is moving in their favor. So the Cliff's Notes is the system is called ML short fave with move. In this situation, if you are a favorite and the line moves at least a half point in your direction and you're -4 or less, those teams on the money line are 159 and 105, 60%, 3% ROI this year. So that would match with Georgia State. Now, Georgia State has some advantages, better free throw shooting, big advantage here. Hopefully that's important in a close game. 8th best in the country versus 107th for Southern Miss. Better 3-point shooting, 329th, doesn't sound great, but Southern Miss is 360th. And better defensive efficiency, 168th versus 190th for Southern Miss. Also helps that the Panthers hold their opponents to a better effective field goal percentage, 102nd in the country, 218th for Southern Miss. Lastly, we look at home road. Georgia State at home, 4-2, not bad. Southern Miss on the road, 3-7. So we have basically a pick'em game. The line has moved toward Georgia State. We got some really good money line splits. Good money line system match, home road, stat advantages, and then also we have our friends at Juice Reel, as I mentioned, with a 25% sharp mush edge on the Georgia State money line. So 25% more of the sharper winning bettors are also going with Georgia State. So first bet on the board for me tonight, guys, 7 o'clock Eastern time. Fire up your ESPN Plus if you want to sweat this one and watch it. Georgia State money line, -125. Win the damn game, Panthers. Next one for you, Towson and Elon. Another 7 o'clock tip here. We have Towson coming in 11-9 on the season. They have won 3 in a row. They just edged Drexel 59-58. Didn't cover, though, as a 7.5-point home favorite. Meanwhile, Elon, 12-7 on the year. They've won 3 of their last 4. Just beat Hofstra 89-85. They won outright as a 5.5-point road dog. So what have we seen across the market here? Well, Elon opened around a 2 or 2.5-point home favorite. And overnight, we did see this line drop. Some shops got down Elon -2, 2.5, down to -1.5. And as I was waking up and kind of looking at this line move, I'm like, okay, do we get down to a pick 'em? Does this go dog to fave Towson? But once it got down to 1.5, that's when we started to see some sharp buyback back toward Elon. So I'm not sure if this was like a head fake, which Billy Walters was famous for, where you would hit, you would have your position, but you would hit the opponent, the other team, early at low limits to move that number, make the odds makers think that that's who you like. And then when it gets lower, at a better price, you come in hard, higher limits to make more money as your true position. So you're basically head faking or moving the line to basically get a better number. I don't know if that happened here, but it's notable to me that it went down and now it's starting to creep back up. So you're mostly around now -2, still some 2.5s out there. In addition, if we look at some other advantages here in terms of the splits, DraftKings 63% bets, 83% dollars are on Elon. So low bets, higher dollar split in their favor. Ken Palm has Elon winning by 4 points, 74-70. He also has Elon ranked higher, 154th versus 170th. You guys know me. This is a money line play. So I got Elon on the money line. I would hate to lay a 1.5, 2, 2.5. They win by 1 or 2. You push or lose your bet. So I did jump on Elon a little bit earlier today at -140 on the money line. Should be pretty much widely available. Some shops are like -145, so definitely get that best price. But in addition, good split on the Elon money line. Elon money line. Say that 10 times fast. 75% money line bets, 81% money line dollars. So a heavy Pro and Joe split in favor of Elon. Elon has big advantages, mostly offensively. Way better offensive efficiency, 74th in the country versus 273rd for Towson. Better effective field goal percentage, 33rd versus 350th. Better three-point shooting, 41st versus 363rd. Elon averages about 85 points a game, 69 for Towson. So hopefully we can have a home team that scores and Towson can't keep up. Elon does have a 2-day rest advantage. They last played on January 17th. Towson last played on the 19th, so hopefully a little bit of rest and game film and getting excited to play this one. If you are the Phoenix at home, Elon is, by the way, 7-3 at home. Towson is 1-6 on the road. So again, we kind of dipped early toward Towson. It's kind of creeping back up toward Elon, but we have Ken Palm saying it should be a 4-point game, which is a pretty good edge off basically the 2 right now, as well as a bunch of good bet splits, good stat advantages, rest versus tired, home road, and oh, by the way, if you look at rhythm, they have Elon -2.6, so a little bit of an edge there off basically the 2 now, and a 22% sharp mush edge from our friends at Juice Reel. So 22% more of these sharper winning bettors are also going Elon money line. Elon money line. Did it again. Elon money line. So long story short, guys, Ken Palm again has got a 4-point game. This team plays pretty well at home. They can shoot the lights out. I don't want to jinx them, knock on wood, but I went Elon money line -140. Win the damn game. Last bet of the night, late night sweat, 9 o'clock Eastern time. We have Portland State and Eastern Washington. Portland State comes in 11-5 on the season. They've won 5 straight, just held off Northern Arizona 63-52. Did not cover, though. They were favored by 11.5 at home, only won by 11. Meanwhile, Eastern Washington, 4-14, but they have won 2 of their last 3 and just beat up on Idaho State 84-66, cruising, easily winning outright as a 5.5-point road favorite. Now, what have we seen here across the board? Well, this game opened with Portland State listed around a 1.5-point road favorite. So it's always notable to me, again, very short favorite. How does the betting market react? Is it, okay, this is too short and let's hit it and jack it up higher toward that low favorite? Or is this more like maybe a coin flip game where you see that money come in on the home dog and drop the line? Well, the former happened, not the latter, because Portland State has been bet up -1.5 up to -2.5. Some shops now even up to -3. So it's pretty clear, one-way movement toward Portland State. That tells me a lot of respected money thought this line was a bit short and moved that number toward the Vikings. You look at the splits at DraftKings, 77% of spread bets, 78% of spread dollars on Portland State. Now, the fact that we've had a line move and heavy splits in favor of Portland State, also considering the fact this is a 9 o'clock late game, it's kind of a small, low bet matchup, tells me that it's probably more sharps targeting Portland State than the betting public. I don't know how many average Joe bettors woke up and said, you know what, I got to bet Portland State today. Probably not too many. So kind of a low bet, obscure, sharp line move play. Now, Ken Palm does have Portland State winning, but only by 2 points, 77-75. He does have Portland State ranked quite a bit higher, though, 158th versus 235th. But with this in mind, again, Ken Palm's got a 2-point game, and all the big money came in on Portland State minus 1.5 early. If you lay 2.5 and they win by 2, you lose this bet. So I went to money line Portland State. I got money line here of minus 150. Looks like some shops closer to like minus 155, minus 160. So definitely try to get the best price if you can. But I like the splits at DraftKings on Portland State. 85% bets, 95% dollars. So big pro Joe heavy money split there. Portland State does have the better effective field goal percentage, 129th versus 178th. Better offensive rebound percentage, 136th versus 172nd. And also way better defensive efficiency. You have the Vikings ranked 93rd in the country in defensive efficiency. Their opponent, Eastern Washington, 295th. Also, the Vikings limit their opponents to a better effective field goal percentage, 61st versus 355th. So line has moved only one way in terms of Portland State. Low bet, obscure, sharp line move. Money line Portland State minus 150-ish. Rhythm has Portland State minus 2.8. And then also 67% sharp mush edge on Portland State money line from our friends at Juice Reel. So once again, a huge indicator there of smart money also money lining Portland State. So 3 money line plays, guys. Can we get 2 out of 3? Elon, Georgia State, and Portland State. Let's get 2 out of those 3 to bark. Now, little update and a new play here, which you probably heard me hint about yesterday, and I did a little bit more digging, and I said to myself, you know what? I don't think we're going to get a better number than this. So just wanted to mention real quick, the Denver Broncos. I let off kind of mentioning, hey, hope you got that 5.5, 75% of tickets on the Pats, but they've fallen minus 5.5 down to 4.5. And again, yesterday the indicator to me was there are only 2 5.5s left, and Circa was at 4.5. So it's always important to me that Circa, a really sharp book out in Vegas, is basically more bullish, a full point off of some of these copycat, basically public books. So jumped on the 5.5 with Denver. If you remember, there were some really good system matches on Denver. Broncos plus 3.5, Broncos plus 3, Broncos plus 3.7, all from our friends at Rhythm. So already holding 5.5 with Denver. And now I said to myself, okay, what are we going to do with the Rams and the Seahawks? Now, I mentioned this before, but kind of setting the stage for this championship weekend, you have 2 hugely lopsided plays. So the first thing that jumped out to me is everybody's on the Patriots and everybody's on Seattle. And they're probably parlaying Patriots in Seattle. You thought the Patriots were lopsided, 75% of bets. Well, the Seahawks are getting 82% of spread bets at DraftKings. So a really big split there with the public all over Seattle. But here's the thing. You basically open Seattle minus 2.5, and they're still 2.5. Some books open Seattle minus 3, got down to 2.5. So why is this line either staying the same or moving toward the Rams if everybody and their mother is on Seattle? So I said to myself, okay, I got to go Rams here. I got to go against the public in a heavily bet game. I got to take advantage and respect that sharp line freezer RLM. I like how the Rams are a divisional dog. So again, built-in familiarity levels the playing field, benefits the team getting points. We also have that system match, short playoff dogs getting 3 or less. That is now 28-12 against the spread, 70%, 36% ROI since 2017. Playoff dog, 64% since 2017. Your late game dogs, so 4 o'clock Eastern time or later, postseason dogs in the late window since 2017, they are 60% against the spread. So all of these systems are lighting up on the Rams. And then when I looked over at Rhythm, also saying to take the Rams. I have a Green Star Smart Signal recommended play on the Rams. where Rhythm says they should be plus 0.4. So basically a 2-point edge off the current price. I have another model, Rams plus 1.2, and a third model, Rams plus 0.6. So Rhythm is Green Star recommending, saying take the Rams, and this is a wheelhouse play. It's a contrarian play, but also you have an element of smart money where if we take a step back and ask ourselves, if 82% of bets are going Seattle, or whatever number I gave you, was it 82%? Yeah. Then why aren't we up to 3 or 3.5 or 4? Tells me that the books, even though they're getting pounded with public $5 bets on Seattle, they do not want to hand out the 3. I would mention as well, if you look at Circa, this is really intriguing. Rams are only getting 29% of spread bets, but 74% of spread dollars. So a lot of money out at Circa in Vegas on the Rams. Add it all up, now we say to ourselves, okay, I wanted to get the Rams plus 3. Let's look across the market, check out our Odds Logic Live Odds page, try to find a 3. Well, the first thing I noticed is that there are no 3s. And then I'm starting to do some digging in terms of the juice. And what can I do? And again, I don't love buying points. I think buying points, once you discover it when you're new to betting, it's like, oh, I'll always buy a better number. And then you realize, okay, it doesn't make as big a difference and it's going to eat into your winnings. But I think there is a good case to be made buying points around key numbers. So here's what I'm going to do. I don't want to get just Rams 2.5, and again, basically have to win the game, lose by 2 or less, win the game. I need to be able to protect myself because 3 is the most common key number. Rams lose by 3, I need to be able to push that bet instead of lose that bet. And also the fact that everyone's playing Seattle and the books won't just straight out give you a 3 tells me that the 3 is very important. So I was looking for a book that was reducing the juice in terms of the Rams, and then can I buy up the half point to get it to 3? Well, I did find a couple shops here that kind of caught my eye with this one. So if we look at, let me just pull up my updated odds here. If we look across the board, we have Rams plus 2.5, minus 114 at FanDuel. They're juicing it up. 2.5, minus 110 at quite a few shops. But then I did find the Score was offering Rams plus 2.5 at plus 100. So I was able to take Rams plus 2.5 at plus 100. And here's the thing. When you're buying up a key number, you got to find the book giving you the lowest and closest that you can be to even money. That way it'll be a little bit cheaper when you buy them up. But I was able to find the plus 2.5 at the Score and bring it up to plus 3 at minus 125. So it's a little bit pricey, minus 125, but we got to be able to push that bet instead of lose it if it's a 3-point game, which is the most common margin of victory. So I did take Rams plus 2.5 up to plus 3 at minus 125. And again, we got divisional dog, system matches, line freeze, super contrarian, great bet splits, great rhythm edge. And I just wanted to, let me pull up Juice Reel because I want to get the updated Sharp Mush edge there coming up this Sunday. Denver, by the way, has a 15% Sharp Mush edge. And if we look at Rams and Seattle, Rams are a 9% Sharp Mush edge. So plus 3, minus 125. Bought it up to protect ourselves. If they lose by 3, we push. But let's go Rams. And by the way, you could tease them up 2.5 to 8.5. That would go through some key numbers. So you got options. But that about does it, guys, for episode 438 of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast, powered by Rhythm. This is the part of the pod where we wrap things up. And I always start first by saying thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for grinding in the arena with me every single day through the ups and the downs, the winning nights, the losing nights, the hot streaks, the cold streaks. It means a lot to me that we've created this sports betting community to approach betting from a data-driven, sharp contrarian mindset. If you would like to help me grow this pod, could you do something very easy, very simple? It'll take you literally 1 second. Just give it a 5-star review on the App Store. So if you'd like to do it for, or actually give it a 5-star review on Spotify or iTunes, I should say. That way we can get those likes coming in. And also if you want to recommend the pod to a friend, if you would like to retweet the pod every time I put it out, that's also much appreciated. Leave a nice review. That would all be pretty awesome of you to do. Next, if you enjoy this style of betting breakdown, data-driven, sharp contrarian betting, focusing on line movement, split system matches, focusing on what the market is doing and telling us, not what our own biases are telling us. If this style of betting has appealed to you, you want to learn more about data-driven betting, or you have a friend or a colleague or family member or someone who maybe is trying to get into sports betting or bets on sports but really has no philosophy whatsoever, you know what you should do? You should go to Amazon.com and you should buy them a book or two. Get the Everything Guide to Sports Betting or the NFL Sharp Betting Playbook. You can get one or both. Bring them to the sports book. I'll sign them for you. I'll buy you a beer or a ginger ale. We'll sweat some college hoops together tonight. Next, have you downloaded Rhythm and Juice Reel yet? Well, Rhythm, great for their AI-backed models and predictions for game bets and player props. Reminder, we have our Rhythm rundown tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, so I'll see you guys there. And then, of course, Juice Reel. So many great advantages, but Juice Reel is awesome, mostly for the opportunity to support the pod and get the All Systems Go best bet picks as soon as I play them. I got my books synced up. When I place a bet at DraftKings, FanDuel, Caesars, BetMGM, The Score, Ballybet, Fanatics, all my books that I have an account at, once I put it in, it goes right to Juice Reel. So for $5 a week, more technically speaking, $4.99 a week, you can get every play as soon as I make it, and you can tail fade, do whatever you like, but I consider that a tip jar. It's like passing the hat. When I played Babe Ruth and or played at my high school, you'd pass the hat, you have to pay for the umpires as I was playing baseball. This is like passing the hat. So if you enjoy the pod, boom, you can support it by getting those ASG best bet picks. And you can do a 7-day free trial. Just test it out first. But you also get the Robo Jackson best bet picks, the Sharp Mush indicators, the arbitrage plays, the shop for the best line futures, all available when you download Juice Reel. So download Rhythm, download Juice Reel, give them a 5-star review in the App Store while you're at it. Next, I mentioned Odds Logic earlier, but it is such an important and key tool if you want to be a daily sports bettor and in terms of getting the best price, shopping for the best number, identifying steam, picking off a Pats 5.5 or a Broncos 5.5 yesterday instead of all the 4.5s. But it's so critical to be able to track the market. You got to have your finger on the pulse of what's happening. And the Odds Logic live odds page lets you do that. So if you want to give it a shot, just go to oddslogic.com/Josh123. That'll give you a 7-day free trial, 50% off your first month of service. Next, have you guys downloaded Novig? Novig is a sports betting exchange. It's not a sports book, but the whole difference there is you're going to get way better juice prices because you're going up against other bettors. You're not going up against the house. So, for example, I am looking at all of the football games here coming up on Sunday. And right now, Novig is showing you Patriots minus 4.5 at plus 101 or Broncos plus 4.5 at minus 104. Rams plus 2.5 minus 101. Seahawks minus 2.5 minus 104. Again, the over-under is minus 110 or less, or even some plus money. So it just illustrates that if you want to make that transition from a sportsbook to an exchange, the opportunity there is to get way better juice prices. You could win at the same rate, but make more money because you're risking less juice. So download Novig, and when you fund your account, make sure you put in Josh123 in the promo code. That'll tack on an extra $25 for you. So that about does it for episode 438 of the ASG pod on a big Thursday. As always, guys, I'll leave you with a couple final thoughts here. One, whether I see you at the Borgata in Atlantic City, Twin River in Rhode Island, the Brook in New Hampshire, Foxwoods or Mohegan Sun down in Connecticut, at the Encore in Boston, Plainridge Park Casino, MGM Springfield, the Nash in my neck of the woods on the border of Massachusetts and New Hampshire, or out in the desert where the True Grinders get down, where Billy Walters sends his number runners, where the lowest juice possible is found at the South Point, or Sweat and Sharp Contrarian plays jumping in the stadium swim pool when you cash a big ticket at Circa. Wherever it may be, you're going to walk up to me. You're going to show me a North Carolina rolling, laying a 12.5, 13.5, winning by 22. Yes, sir. Or even better, show me a Grand Canyon plus 1.5 or money line ticket. The Lopes, man. The Lopes got it done. They made us nervous because they blew a big lead late, but they found a way to get it done. So we'll take it every time. So as always, guys, coming off a 2-1 or a 1-2, a 3-0 or an 0-3, a good night, a bad night, a mediocre night, a hot streak, a cold streak, whatever the case may be. We're going to have ups and downs. That's life. That's sports betting. But we got to stick to the model, stick to the blueprint, look for the games that fit that system. Games that are simultaneously against the public, with the house, with the pros, flat bet, avoid parlays, and get that CLV. If we can do that, we're going to be successful sports bettors. So have a great Thursday night, everybody. Let's see if we can get some winners on the college hoops hard court. Hopefully, I will see you at the Rhythm Rundown tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, stream live on Twitter. And I'm also going to be joining my buddy Patrick Maher on VSiN Live tonight, Sirius XM, at 9 o'clock. So we'll be talking some games, and I always have fun with Patrick because we talk about a lot of cool random stuff. It's all sports betting, but then we'll go on some tangents. So I'm looking forward to what Patrick's got cooked up for us tonight. But either way, guys, have a great Thirsty Thursday. I'll see you guys tomorrow for a big episode, a Friday edition, to finish off the week, episode 439 of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast, powered by Rhythm. Good luck, everybody, and have a great Thursday night.